So the other way that you can add fabric using a photograph from the web and the clipping mask to a garment is to actually go to the web and find a garment that looks like you want it to be when the garment is finished, and then use a clipping mask and some resizing to put it into the composition. So what I've done here is I've got my reference layer, which is the skirt. I've got the layer below it, which is the shape of the mask. I've gone to the web and I found something that looks like the skirt I want, so I'm going to insert a photo. This is a screenshot of the garment, and I want that skirt there. What I'm going to do is, if it's not in between the reference mask, if it's not in between the reference drawing and the base layer, I'm going to move it there, and now I'm going to turn on clipping mask, right? And now I'm going to grab that with my moving tool, and now I can move that into place. And if I want to, I can come down here to my warp, and I can change that a little bit to maybe fit in, if there's a little white there, to fit into what I want it to look like on the skirt. And then when I'm done, I've now got a much easier way to put a piece of fabric in. And the benefit of that photograph is that it also includes the actual folds and details in the photograph, which will ultimately help my design look more three-dimensional. All right, so let me do that one more time. I'm going to get out of this, right? So I've got my reference layer, I've got my bottom layer. I'm going to take the photograph I like, insert photo. In this case, it was a screenshot. I'm going to be sure that the layer of the skirt is in between my reference layer and my base layer. I'm going to hit clipping mask, then I'm going to grab it with the arrow tool, and I can move it exactly where I need it to be. And then if I want to change the scale, if I want to take the scale down too far, that might cause a problem. So I probably want to try and find something that's about the right scale for the garment I want to include. But here, so I'm going to minimize the scale just a little bit to change the pattern so the pattern's not quite so big, right? And then I'm going to come down here to warp. I'm going to change this a little bit, and you have to do it carefully, otherwise it's going to start to pull everything out of shape. But you can see I can alter this so that it fits in my new piece. And if you look really closely, you'll see that it's changed the pattern somewhat. But so this is a really easy way to add fabric to a costume drawing, and the benefit is the fabric has the actual folds of a real garment. And we will talk about this more later when we actually talk about building a costume design using a collage motif.